Hey, good afternoon everyone, Trackman 44 here. Well, you can tell by looking at the hole in the ground, I've got everything pretty much dug out and pretty close to being on grade and getting ready to dig the footing. The pins right now, as they're located, is within 1 inch of being perfectly square by measuring crossways across the 4 pins. I was originally going to, or intending on using that soft maple to build the farms out of, but that was before I actually had an idea of how high the farm was going to have to be on the uphill side. I had never shot grade or anything and didn't know how much of a fall. I've actually got in this corner, I've got 36-inch level that we're going to have to come up in order to make where the building is out of ground. So I may or may not even be able to use those soft maple for the actual farms for the foundation wall. But I will use them for the footings though, guarantee it. Well, I got the 3 sides of the footing actually dug. I got to clean that dirt out of the middle and off of the end there before I square it all up and get that far end there. And it's not quite to grade yet, but it will be whenever we get done. Well, hey guys, as you can tell, I'm having a little bit of trouble with that tooth bucket. So I'm going to run home at lunchtime right now and go ahead and bring that slick bucket. It'll be a little bit easier to clear that up in the inside than knocking it back into the ditch. And once again, proving that I ain't no operator. Sure am having fun though. Secured and ready to go. Well now, that certainly made a big difference really quick between the tooth bucket and the smooth bucket. Remember that funny looking plate we made? Take a look, let's see if it's gonna work. told you that if something failed, I was going to go ahead and show you that it failed, and it did. But it failed simply because I used the wrong chain. I used scrap chain that had just laying around in the shop, and I literally pulled the link in two, not once, but twice. I ran home real quick and re-welded it again, come back and pulled it apart, just another part of the chain. So third time's the charm. I said, this ain't gonna happen again. So I went back home, last night at the end of the day, and I grabbed me an old hook and went ahead and welded that entire hook. Actually, I cut the back side off of it to where it's flat. Instead of just having the two rounded surfaces to weld to, I cut it off to where it was flat, and I went ahead and run these dual beads down the sides of them. So that way I can use this higher quality. This is for sure a grade 70 chain, and of course it's got a slip hook on the end of it, but that doesn't matter. But I'll be able to slip this right into here and wrap on up around and do exactly what we did with the original chain. But this should be a much stronger chain, and I should not be able to pull it in too. That's what the hope is. Looking over my shoulder, you can see it's not just absolutely perfect, but it's definitely workable. So yeah, I'm going to scoop this little bit of dirt here off, put it in the pile. The next step is going to be setting up my concrete farms and ordering a little bit of gravel. So when that happens, we'll go ahead and shoot grade to the tops of the farms. Then I'll fill gravel in all around underneath them, level everything out. Then we'll be ready to put a footing, throw some rebar and stuff into the footing, and we'll be good to go then. I'll take you up there and show you how poor of a job I did, because instead of being nice and smooth, it's all pretty with a bunch of ribbons in it. In the event we have any amount of rain at all that's going to have a tendency to fill up our trench, you always go to the lowest corner and go ahead and dig you a little path out for that water, so it doesn't sit in there and soak in underneath where your footing is going to be. But yeah, you can see it's a little thick and thin, it's a little wavy and all that stuff. But once again, it doesn't really matter. This is just nothing but a shed. We're going to get a good footing under it. We're going to get a good foundation wall. Then we're going to build a nice little, it's going to be a small thing, about 14 foot by 20 foot shed, just for all her lake equipment, lawn equipment, and all that kind of stuff. Last thing I do when I get ready to leave, because you never know when you're going to come back or when we're going to have rain, I always go ahead and cover up everything as tightly as we can with tarpaulins, keep the seat dry, all the controls dry and everything, and lock the loader booms in the up position. The backhoe and the cases have a real nice lock on it to where you can actually lock them in the up position. The hydraulics is not what's holding it. It's a mechanical latch on that hydraulic. And also I try to cover up the entire engine, the control compartment, and everything to keep moisture, snow, rain, whatever, out of the good stuff on the tractors. So you know what, guys, thank you very much for hanging in there. I know this really wasn't a very good video. It wasn't very interesting at all, but I did have a bit of a failure, and I'm a little disappointed in that, but I know that the concept is going to work. Oh, I got a friend up in Canada. His name is Gator's World. Gator always says, this video might not have been very good, but the next one will be better. So I'm going to steal Gator's line. That's what Gator always says. So this one wasn't very good, but the next one will be better. And you know what? This is Trackman 44, and I'm out of here, guys.